Well, it's finally arrived. It's cold. This morning I think we are down to -7 Celsius, but we have a bit of a breeze, and I'm pretty sure with that wind it brings it down into the minus teens. So it's cold today, and that fire's a warm welcome. So along with the cold, we got a skiff of snow, our first skiff of snow here for the year, and I'm pretty excited for the upcoming season. And with this cold, I have to get my button gear and finish insulating the interior of the cabin and get the wood up. Kind of been putting it off, taking advantage of the warm weather in October, but like I said, it's dropped, and I think that's it for the season for the warm weather. I think we're going to be, well, we might come above freezing every once in a while for the next couple weeks, but I think that's it. The cold season has started officially. Just got to wait for all the snow to come now. With that said, though, I'll be starting the overnights here. This week won't be ideal for that, so beginning of November will probably be the first overnight. Along with plan on doing some hot tenting here in the next first little part of November. So we'll mix match the variety of content and take advantage of this cold weather. So yeah, for today it'll just be insulating the interior of the cabin, having a nice warm meal, just enjoying the atmosphere of the cabin and the property. That is so good. Now it may seem like cheating because it's actually a refry from leftovers from last night. But it's so good. Over a campfire, cast iron pan, can't beat it. Baby back ribs. So these were slow cooked and smoked for 4 hours. So good. Oh, I had to go get my little wood platform here. Makes eating so much easier. So it seems like we're breaking away from tradition here a little bit. Don't usually have lunch before I get to work, but out here a little bit later in the day, and I'm pretty hungry, so get some vittles in me, then we'll get to work on the cabin. Well, I've gone as far as I can go today. Ran out of wood. The pieces I was using for, or I'm using for the ceiling, it's 3/8 plywood, and all I did is rip a 4x8 sheet of plywood into 1-foot sections, 8 feet 1x8, I guess you could call it, and staggered them on the roof. I think it was easy. It was easier to manhandle and manage the pieces rather than a full 4x8 sheet of plywood. Staggering them up gives a bit of an appearance as well. I'll have a bit of a pattern on the roof. What I'm going to do with the seams is run some 1x4 across the seams, kind of like a shiplap type deal. I think it'll look pretty good. Right now it's looking pretty patchy because I just put the 8 foot long sections up. I'll have to make the filler pieces out of the other pieces of plywood that I make, but that'll be for tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to let the fire go out and go home and make those pieces, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Finish the job. Morning, everyone. It's a great morning this morning. I think we're down to -7. Really overcast. It even feels like it might even snow a little bit. Here's hoping that happens. Anyway, back at the cabin. To finish up that job, I started there yesterday with the roof. I went back to town and made more of the pieces of wood that I needed to finish the roof. And more or less everything that's left in the cabin now is just patchy work. I put the main pieces up there yesterday and left the smaller work for when I got more wood. I kind of figured I wouldn't have enough materials to cover it, so but it gave me a good idea of what I need. So we'll get pretty much of it done today with what I have, and anything else that I have left over to do, I can just plug away at as I see fit. But the cabin's more or less insulated now. I just have to make it look pretty. And I end up getting a light bulb for my light, and the blue eddy's in there right now. I'm about to go turn it on. It should make a huge difference. Huge difference on lighting that place compared to that white gas lantern. That white gas lantern, it didn't throw off a lot of light. It was kind of a nice ambience type thing. Hiss of the lantern going, and just enough light to set a mood type thing, right? But this light I got in now, it brightens things up, I'm pretty sure. I've got a LED light in there. I think it's 9 watts compared to like the regular 60 watt bulb, incandescent bulbs. So it should only draw 9 watts of power from the blue eddy, which is, you gotta conserve power quite a bit when using one of these solar power generators. I've got 2,000 watts available in just the unit, blue eddy unit itself. You throw the expansion battery on it, that doubles it to 4,000. With a 9 watt bulb, that'll last a very long time. But the light bulb's not the only thing I'll be running off the blue eddy. This winter I plan on bringing out my laptop and doing editing and work out here while I'm in the evenings. And then I'm also planning on trying to rig up a ham radio in the cabin over winter. Like I mentioned before, I did this with my dad and my uncle back in the 90s. We were on top of a mountain in British Columbia, and we had no power. It was off-grid, an off-grid cabin, trapper's cabin as it were. All we had was a generator, and those two guys are ham radio operators. They strung up an antenna, inverted V, dipole inverted V antenna, just from some trees, and got the generator going, and we were hitting Australia. We were talking to people in Australia in the middle of British Columbia on a mountain off-grid. It was pretty cool experience. As a matter of fact, one of the guys we were talking to, he knew my grandfather because my grandfather was a ham radio operator as well. So, yeah, interesting times. But the ambience of the cabin will be much better than it was last year. Plus, it'll be there'll be more heat retention in it. So, I'm looking forward to that. needs a little bit of a cleaning. Alright, moment of truth here for the Blue Eddy. Power it up. On. Lights. It makes a huge difference in here, I'll tell you that right now. Huge difference. The light's way better than just a white gas lantern. Although I do miss that hiss of the lamp itself, but I have to make up for it somehow. Crackling in the fire. This works good. I just got to set this up a bit better. I want to get one of those, one of the power bars, and I'll just mount it here or either here. Then I can just plug this cord into the power bar and the power bar into the Blue Eddy, and then clean it up so it's not hanging like this, right? I can clean it up against the wall better. And I'll just tidy things up, I think, a bit better. I like it. Now I have this portion of the roof finished, other than trim. I was kind of waiting to start the wood stove until I had that portion done. So I think now what I'm going to do, because it is cold in here, it's was it -5 still. I think I'm going to flash up that wood heater, seeing as I cleaned the chimney out, and giving it its maiden voyage for this cold season. Well, looks like the overcast skies are gone. Looks like the clouds burned off, and we got a We got a really blue sky out right now. Hasn't warmed up any, it's still -7, but it sure is pretty right now. Yeah, and during that gray part of the morning there, we had some small snowflakes falling. I thought it was gonna open up on us and we're gonna get a bit of a snow squall, but looks like the opposite happened. Anyway, I got where I wanted to be as far as covering the walls and the ceiling before I started the hotwood heater, the firewood heater. I didn't want the heater going while I was playing around with it, working in that corner of the cabin, putting up the boards. So I finally got that section done, and I got the fire going down in the cabin and the wood heater heating up the place. And I'll carry on with the other areas or patchy spots that need covering while the cabin's heating up. But before I do that, I'm gonna cook some lunch because I am hungry. Now before I get to cooking supper, or lunch I should say, brew up a pot of coffee here. Now while that coffee is brewing, I'll get my vegetables ready here. That. Now this potato is from the garden. Try her out at camp here. Pretty simple lunch here. Well, today turned out to be a pretty nice day. Tell ya, the temperature is hovering around -7 still. Hasn't changed. But the sky sure opened up. I'll tell you what, it's beautiful out right now. Feeling the heat from this fire with my lunch cooking. Nice cup of coffee. You can't beat it. I do have to say this is my favorite time of year. and it's just the beginning. So I'm cooking up another fillet of coho from Prince Rupert in British Columbia, and also a vegetable medley. The only thing is I forgot the garlic and I forgot the celery. But with the carrots, potato, and onions, it'll do good. Oh man, is that ever good? So on top of the salt and pepper that I usually put on, I put on some garlic seasoning, and it hit the spot. So good. I think I timed those vegetables just right. They're perfect. The garden potatoes are excellent. Try some of the salmon. Coho is excellent. The skin's got a bit of char on it, so it's crunchy. Man, I'm so hungry. I really do enjoy eating a nice hot meal outside, freezing temperatures by the campfire. So right now the wood heater is heating up the cabin nicely. I think we're up to about +10 in there now. Seems the insulation is really helping out. It's heating up a lot quicker than it did last year. Mind, it's not super cold outside yet. We'll have to see what happens when it hits like -15, -20. Because when it seemed to really start to struggle with keeping heat in the cabin. Yeah, it took a while for the cabin to heat up at that point, -15-ish temperatures with that wood heater. So hopefully with this insulation job I did on the cabin, it'll heat up a lot quicker. So I think that's a wrap on this episode. I got what I wanted done, finished. And that's mainly boarding up the one side of the roof, the heat side, so I don't have to worry about playing around with that wood around around the heater while it's going. All I have to do now is do some trim fitting around that section. The other side of the roof I'll get done. I'll plug away at it. My wood's covered. It's out of the elements. I kind of got caught up in the day, I guess to say, just enjoying the beautiful day out here, enjoying the heat in the cabin, coming out, cooking a meal, eaten by the campfire. Pretty excited for this upcoming season. Now it seems the cold is here to stay, I think. Well, you never know, it might heat up, but it feels good to get the cold. There's no bugs out, which I love. I love that there's no bugs. We're just missing the snow now. And I think with the improvements I did this year with the yard, clearing out this section here by where the wood mill is, a nice blanket of snow throughout the whole property. That'll look very beautiful. Although I did increase my workload by making that parking lot, so I'll just be clearing more snow, which I don't mind at all. So right now one of the chores will be picking up dead fallen sticks around the property and burning them, which I like doing too. It's very relaxing. I find myself getting out to the perimeters of the yard. I'm not going to go deep into the bush. There's no point in that. Just when you look around and you see all the dead smaller trees and sticks and stuff sticking up, I just want to go pick them up and burn them. So now's the optimal time of year to do that because all the leaves are gone, so everything's visible and there's no snow yet. So once the snow comes, everything just disappears, right? So take advantage of it while I can, do a little extra cleaning up. As it is from the start when I came here first to this property, like this was all completely bush, like thick bush. So it's come a long way. It's got its own personality now, and I really enjoy spending time out here. With that said, if you made it this far, I thank you. Talk to you later.